Hi, everybody. I'm Marc Farron, and I'm the IT consultant at the Small Business Development Center at FGCU. And we're going to spend the next 45 minutes together talking about how to optimize that worker now that you've sent him home and they're working from home. How to get the most out of them at this moment. Just a few words about the Small Business Development Center, particularly at Florida Gulf Coast University. We're here to help you, everybody from startups to companies with 500 employees. And how do we do that? Through consulting, one-on-one consulting where there's no charge, training like we're doing today, and through business information and analytics with really top drawer professional consultants. So let's start. The coronavirus is forcing businesses to send employees home. How do we optimize their productivity while they're away from the office? That's what we'll be discussing today. I want to start off by saying every company is different. Just like people, every company is different. We deal with what we call SOHO, small office and home office. They're home already. Now, they might be facing great challenges during these times with financial and other problems, but technologically, things haven't changed that much for these companies. They're already very much in the cloud and virtual. We deal with companies that have 8, 10, 15 employees, like we see here, law offices and accounting firms. They certainly face particular challenges. And then we have clients that have up to 500 employees that are doing manufacturing. Wow, they're in a whole different boat. So every company is different. And I want to say, if you're in this 5-county area and I don't meet your needs during this webinar, reach out to me at mfarron@fgcu.edu. Again, my name is Marc, M-A-R-C. So it's mfarron@fgcu.edu. So let's jump in. What are the steps to success? Well, we have to determine which staff is right for teleworkers. Some people aren't going to be able to work remotely. And of course, there are going to be technological challenges. But in addition to that, and probably more importantly, there are going to be human resource personnel challenges for success. And again, we'll talk about how to optimize that virtual workplace. Okay, I just want to say that we should be good at this. We live in Florida. Just about every summer, we have to get virtual. We have to leave our office, maybe for a half a day, maybe for a week or two. Think about those hurricanes. So we should be getting adept at this. And this is certainly going to be a learning experience. I'll talk about that more. Disaster recovery, business continuity, that's what we call in the field, DRBC. And everyone should have a really good DRBC plan. And if you didn't have it before, you'll probably have one, Lord willing, after this. Okay, so let's start off. Who are really good people to work remotely? What would you think of? Those who are staring at screens all day? Not necessarily. There still could be challenges, but they should be optimal. Those accounting people, those who do dispatching, sales, receptionists. Now, there are going to be challenges. There might be technological and HR challenges, but these people certainly are have the ability, should have the ability to be able to work remotely, to be able to work at home. On the other hand, wow, it's going to be hard for Joe the plumber to do his work over Zoom. So some of these people, obviously waiters and delivery personnel and tradesmen, are going to have far greater challenges working remotely. And a lot of these people, well, unfortunately, they're not working anyway. I just wanted to say that the good news is creating a virtual office has gotten a whole lot easier. I remember about 12 years ago, I had a technology company. We had about 17 people, and we decided to go virtual. We decided to give up our brick and mortar office. And wow, was that a chore. Like many companies that size, we had a rack We had a rack of about 3 or 4 servers, a router, a switch, a security appliance, those kind of pizza box things that fit into racks. And we had to take that physical rack with that asset and move it to, I'll call it a data center, move it to a hardened facility. So it was still our property that we had to move in there. And then all of our people had to remotely, we called it VPN because it was VPN, we had to remotely VPN into that rack. We did it over the internet, yes, but cloud computing, cloud storage, they were there, but it was in a much more primitive state. And it was much, much more hard. It was much harder, it was more expensive, and more time consuming. So things have gotten easier. When it comes to technology, there are really 2 issues. One is about the technology, and the other is about human. And when it comes to technology, one is about the applications and their data. I'll call it the information. And the other is about communicating collaboration. Today, technology is much more than just information technology. It's really information, communication, and collaboration technology. It's really about replacing the telephone, and even the telephone is digital. So there are really 2 aspects when we talk about technology or IT. Okay, there are 4 types of offices that we start off with, and they all are variously positioned for the teleworker, for optimizing the teleworker. It's only the one best position, as I'll call it the SaaS office, software as a service. I think we all know what that is now. It's where the applications and the data all reside in the cloud, and everything can be accessed easily through a browser. Think of Google Apps, Salesforce, QuickBooks Online. Both the application and the data are in the cloud. It's ideal. It's the most portable. Anywhere, get to your stuff and your applications and do your work anywhere, anytime, any device. Technologically, this is the easiest way to go in terms of creating a teleworkforce. The second is where the applications are on-premise, but the data files are in the cloud. So the app might be local. You might have QuickBooks on-premise, I'll call it the old QuickBooks, on your PC or notebook. But maybe you put that QBW file, that data file, on Google Drive. Maybe you have Office 2016 on-premise. You didn't upgrade to Office 365. They just renamed it Microsoft 365, but for this webinar, we'll call it Office 365. So you haven't upgraded to that yet, but you did put all your docs, I'll call it your docs, your files, your Office files, on OneDrive. So you're kind of halfway there. The third one is, I'll call it the more historical one, where both the applications and their data are on-premise. And as companies get larger, very often they will have this. They will have legacy systems. They'll have a legacy ERP system or a legacy manufacturing system that they've had for years that hasn't yet successfully migrated to a cloud application. Actually, just about everyone, or a lot of people, have a combination of these 3. That's the 4th one, and that's where a lot of people are at. They're not in the cloud, they're not totally on-premise. I call this the fog. We're in the fog, we're kind of in between, and just about everyone's in the fog. So we all have our challenges to various degrees. Okay, so what do we do? I would say in 2020, the ideal way to go is to try to migrate to the cloud. It is so much easier if you're in the cloud, if your data and files are in the cloud. If you could convert so if you have your Word docs on premise and you could put them in OneDrive or Box, I'm not particular over which cloud system you have, you could check with us in terms of which is more secure or not, which does more backup and how they do backup. But basically, to get that data and those files in the cloud, and if you can upgrade convert your apps from on-premise to cloud, This might be a good time to migrate from 2016 to Office 365. This might be a good time to go to QuickBooks on-premise to QuickBooks Online. It's subscription-based. It isn't a capital expense. It's not, QuickBooks might have cost $395. I know it might be $18 or $20. I don't know the price per user, but at least it isn't a large capital expense. And they might be having deals right now. This is also the time to maybe upgrade from PCs to notebooks. I know spending money is not this is not the outflow type to spend money, but ideally this is the way to go, because the more portable you are, the more cloud-based you are, the more portable you are, and your teleworker will find life a lot easier. Okay, let's say you have a PC that has QuickBooks on-premise in the office. It's a PC, it's a luggable. You're not going to just grab it and pick it up and put it back every day, but you want to access it. There are ways of doing it. They're kind of staid and true. Here are some of the more famous ones. You buy these applications, PC Anywhere, go to My PC Remote. You put them both on your on-premise PC and your, I'll call it your PC, your computer at home. They both have to be running, they both have to be up, they both have to be running that application. And then you could, we used to call dial in or access that PC in the office. And it's like you're on that PC in the office. For those people who have to dial into a server, there's Microsoft Remote Office. There are a lot of there are a lot of product solutions. Citrix has the most famous one, Zen Desktop. There are a dozen of them where you can remote in to that server and act as if you're a PC on-premise accessing that server if you have a kind of client-server environment, I'll say. Again, this might be over some people's heads. Farron, MFARRON, at fgcu.edu. Just ask me. Okay, the second part to technology, because we talked about, there are two parts. One is getting to the apps and the data, the information. The other is communication, collaboration. And again, wow, has this gotten easier? Okay, there are really 5 basic types of collaboration. Project management tools, things like Asana and Trello. Video, and these are just examples. Video conferencing, Zoom, everyone's heard of Zoom now, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Hangout, very, very similar stuff. Some have different features than others. The Office chat, Teams, Slack, and just basic texting. Real-time document revisions, OneDrive, Google Drive, Box, and again, cloud storage and version control, so important. So these are the tools for collaboration. And here we have a whole sample of them. A lot of them do more than one. I shouldn't say a lot of them, but there are do them more than one. And the ones that stand out are Slack and Microsoft Teams. They will do what Zoom does. You can make phone calls with it. You can send texts with it. They're kind of a real place to spend a lot of time there. They're more all-in-one. It isn't just video conferencing. Okay, and here's my suggestion to you. Standardize around one vendor. You know, if you were an enterprise and had an IT department, you know, maybe you could go with what we used to call best of breed. Take this one for video conferencing, take this one for that. But if you're already using Office 365, think about using Teams. Think about using OneDrive. If you are already using Google Suite, think about using your G Drive. Think about using Hangout. Standardize around the vendor because they are integrated. So you don't have to do the integration. You don't have to be jumping from one app to the other. They have done that kind of integration already. It makes life easier for small businesses. Okay, we talked about there are 2 parts to this. There are 2 parts to making a successful telework. But one is the technology. They have to be able to technologically do their work. But even after that, there are HR personnel issues. It's hard for people to acclimate. It's hard for people to change. It's hard for people to get new routines. Okay? You have the worker who woke up at 7 and went to the gym at 7:30 and got out at 8:30 and went to work by 9 o'clock and brought his lunch and stopped at 12 and hung out at the water cooler and 1 from 40 worked again, and then he got home by 5:45 and so on, and he did it for 20 years, and then, oh my God, I'm home. I wake up, the gym's closed. Oh my God. Some people, it's going to be like fish in water. Some people it ain't. Be ready for that. Okay? And look at this. It's especially hard today with kids home from school. As a mom, reading a report in front of her computer. Look at this. I think there's a 3-year-old in the background. Wow. Okay. So what are the steps to success? Identify the tasks as suitable for the remote work. We already talked about some people are going to be good, some people aren't. Even within that person, some of those tasks are going to be easier than others to do remotely. Establish ground rules. Let's establish ground rules. Let's establish ground rules. They're working from home. No. You will find out fast what are the ground rules. When you have a team meeting and someone, or you have a very important conference call with a really important client, and your top sales guy's there in a tank top, and he hasn't shaved for 2 weeks, you will know that you need ground rules at that time, okay? When people are texting at 12:30 in the morning to you because they are night owls, you will realize that you need ground rules. So you will start writing these down. And if you haven't, you should have an employee handbook. You'll start incorporating the handbook. Maybe you'll have another handbook just for teleworkers, okay? Very important. You will realize this. Okay. And then you will enforce these policies. Here we have a nice person and they're tanked up. Not bad. I don't mind. Maybe you do. We'll see. Okay. So write them down, make them public, stand by them. This is your company. Have effective meeting management. I don't know why, but once people start working from home, they get weird with meetings. Either they're always on, they're always chatting, meetings go on forever. Chris, agenda, 25 minutes, going over these 3 items. Everything has to be a little more precise because everyone is kind of virtual, okay? And provide the effective report. I will particularly like this picture, by the way, the guy in the tie and the shorts. Okay, this is so important. They're working from home and I can't get on and I can't do Zoom and I whatever. You know what I mean? If you have an IT vendor that you're working with, a managed service provider or whatever they call themselves, contact them, talk to them. Maybe these people could directly call them instead of calling you, okay? But you have to be ready to support these people. They will need support. They're not in the office. Some people are really good at this and some people are really bad at this. Like, I don't know how to do Zoom. Why don't you know how to do Zoom? Okay, they don't, okay? Some people are slow at this stuff, okay? And this is critical. Manage by results. This is no longer, you're 15 minutes late. You don't know when they're there. Manage by results, okay? Be very precise. By Friday, we need these 3 things. Keep, Wednesday afternoon, give me an update. That's what you want to say. You're doing a good job. Not, gee, you only work 3 hours. You have no idea. You don't care. Okay. This is what the teleworker is telling us. This is hot off the press. This is on the Wall Street Journal, I think, yesterday. What are their biggest struggles? See that? Collaboration and communication. Loneliness. Not being able to unplug, you see? In other words, that time management. I'm working too much. Very often this is the case. The problem isn't they're not working hard enough. They get burnt out because their office is there. This is the problem. Their office is there, so they're working too much. Or the other side, my home is here, so I'm always getting distracted. See? Distracted from home is the last one. What are the biggest benefits? The flexible hours. Some people, it's like fish to water. I love it. I'm not having to commute. My God, 45 minutes each way. Wow. Ability to spend time with the family, jumping in and out. and the ability to work from home, obvious. Okay, I can't not discuss cybersecurity. So important now, so important. At least they're not going to Starbucks and go to public Wi-Fi's. Hopefully the Wi-Fi from home is secure and the password is good. There's so much cybersecurity going on now because people are realizing that these people are at home. They might not have the same spam filters. Who the hell knows? There's a lot going on. You've got to tell these people that. Don't open links you don't know. Slow down with your email. Slow down. Look where it's coming from, especially if they're attachments. Do not, if they have a home computer, you might be screwed because that home computer, the kids are jumping in and who knows where they're going. Other family members are jumping in who knows where they're going. If you gave them a notebook, this is part of that policy. You don't want anybody else working on that notebook, but your staff person. That's maybe, okay, we're going to start the policy, the management document, okay? Update software, this is one of the big threes. Update software. There's a patch update. QuickBooks, Windows, you name it, update it. Protect that confidentiality. This is big. Now they're home. I know they wouldn't probably go to a porn site. I'm sure your staff is great. I know they wouldn't go to a porn site in the office. I don't know what they're going to do at home. Illegal movie websites, illegal music websites. No. Not on your computer, ever. Sharing passwords. For some reason, when people go at home, they start sharing password for. I don't know why they do. Think about a password manager, okay? Go to PC Mag. Their top choices are all fine. I've looked through all of them, they're all fine. PCMag.com. Get a password manager. Not a bad idea. Okay. I just want to say, this isn't your regular time. I told you 12 years ago, I had a company and I said, let's virtualize. This isn't that. You are forced to do it. This is a time of physical isolation, and there's probably the greatest need for social intimacy at this time. People are nervous. Their kids are home. This is completely unique. This is the time for you as a business owner, especially when people are virtual, to step up, to communicate. Text people individually, text groups, call them, create a video yourself. Every other day, I'm doing fine, here I am at the office, send it out, put it someplace, okay? Have a virtual hour, have a virtual party hour at 4 o'clock. Tell people at 4 o'clock to zoom in. We're all gonna have, if you drink wine or beer, and we're gonna sit around and just talk about, what we're gonna do on the weekend. I don't know. Communicate, be involved. This is your time to shine. Virtually. Okay, we're almost at the end. I just want to say one or two things, a few PSs. One is, this is a great time for staff online training. If you can, this is, they might have some time on their hands. For years, I ran technical companies. That was a big thing. How do you keep all the tech people up to stuff when they're billable? Well, it's the time to do it. If time is money, this is the time to spend it. And the other thing is, learn from this. Learn from this. Lord willing, we're going to survive. And like it or not, it'll probably happen again. And we got to be better the next time. I'm here to help. Marc Farron, the IT consultant at the Small Business Development Center at FGCU. And you can reach me at mfarron@fgcu.edu. Thanks.